Guys, it's February, and next month it's gonna be March. And you know what that means? On March, we're gonna get the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie, and I am so excited. I mean, I only have Godzilla, but where is Kong?
I got King Kong in the trunk, in the trunk, in the trunk.
Well, you're not Kong, but I guess Optimus Primal will do. How's it going, guys? It is Plastic Disasta, and today we are going to be looking at Optimus Primal from the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy, but to be more specific, Kingdom, which will be the third season of the series. By the time of this video's release, there is no trailer whatsoever. Though I have seen that new Godzilla vs. Kong movie trailer. That looks pretty sick. Oh wait, I'm getting distracted. So usually I will give a little backstory of the show, but if I want to talk about the Kingdom, even though I have no knowledge about it yet, but the best knowledge I know is that the Autobots and Decepticons will meet the Predacons and the Maximals. But for Optimus Primal, on the other hand, the backstory of this guy, he is the beloved leader of the Maximals. And before we start talking to Big Bot himself, let's talk about the packaging. And as for the packaging, the Kingdom Wave, it actually looks pretty sick. We have the nice art of the Gorilla, which is his beast mode, and we have the robot mode. And if you see right here, he is in a Voyager class, and we have no idea what they're about. There are 3 different classes when it comes to Transformers figures. Wait, did I say 3? I meant more than 3. But since this is a Voyager class, they're more on the medium scale figures. Taking a look at this side of the packaging, we have another nice line art of the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom, and I want to see if you can recognize some of the iconic characters. And taking a look at the back of the packaging, we can see Optimus Primal once again in the robot mode and the beast mode. Okay, let's stop monkeying around the package and let's see the Big Bot himself. Alright, so you already saw Optimus Primal out of his package, and here is what else it came with, which would be his swords and a card. So taking a look at his card, I gotta say, it looks really nice. And here is the card of the Autobot Ark, which is the giant ship that the Autobots drive in. Here's what it looks like in the back. And you know what's cool is that you can peel this off. And here is the crashed Ark. I don't know if you can see it well. Let me bring the light closer. And I mean, it does a little bit of justice, but it looks pretty nice, but I'm just gonna leave it closed as is. Alright, and next up would be the swords. And I gotta say, they actually look pretty nice as well. And if you look closely right here, I noticed that there is a bit of a paint defect. I mean, don't get me wrong, the silver on the swords is actually nicely painted, but I'm sure I can find a way to fix this, or maybe just leave it alone and forget about it. And to make him hold on to these swords, all you gotta do is just simply plug it in like so, if the other hand cooperates. And now he's ready for action, and he's about to go ape on the Predacons. And to store the swords, you see these tabs right over here. All you gotta do is just plug it into that hole right there. Bada beam, and bada boom. Okay, enough talking about the sword and the card. Let's talk about what we're here for. The sculpting of the figure is actually pretty amazing. Even though the 3rd season is not out yet, so I can't be sure if it's animation accurate, but then again, the animation is based off of the toys. But what I can say is that this is a really nice modern take of Optimus Primal. I mean, have you guys seen the 90s show Transformers Beast Wars? I've only seen the first couple of episodes, but eventually I will finish it. Alright, so going back to the figure. The fur on Optimus Primal is beautifully sculpted. And to bring the light closer, man, look at that detail. And as for the rest of the sculpting, Hasbro and Takara really knocked this one out of the park to show that they do care for the older fans, the ones who grew up for the 80s and the 90s. And if we take the look at the back of the figure, well, this part actually looks fine, but if you look right down there on the legs, you can tell that's part of the robot mode. And again, I'm not sure if it's animation accurate. And there's even more bits to the robot part if you do a bicep swivel. But those things don't really bother me that much. I can let that slide. And as for the painting, take a look at his eyes. Beautifully painted. Now I know you can't see it and the iPhone camera doesn't do justice, but you can really tell that they put a lot of detail in it. See those pupils right there? Yeah, that actually looks pretty nice. And taking a look at the chest area, I'm not sure which one is painted. Is either the light gray or the black. But on the hands, I can easily tell which one is painted, which would be the black. And I gotta say, it actually looks pretty nice on the hands as well. But what I did notice, well, that's just Prime. Well, on my copy, there are some paint defects. And I have no idea how this happened. Maybe because the white just like smeared on this one. I don't know, but it doesn't really bother me at all. I could just maybe clean that up easily. And I also noticed there are bits of the black right here. You look closely. Yeah, that's kind of a paint defect. And there's a little bit more black over here on the other side. But they're just small little nitpicks, so I can live with that. It's not enough to make me go bananas. So let's talk about the articulation. The head can move up and down and move side to side. The arm can reach that far, and the shoulder pad can move out that far, but that's part of the transformation. A small butterfly joint, bicep swivel, bend at the elbow more than 90 degrees, and there is a wrist swivel at the waist. The front skirt can move up that far, and the back skirt can move out that far, but that's part of the transformation. The leg can move up that far and move back that far, and the leg can move out that far. No bend at the knee, but it does bend this way and this way, part of the transformation. You get somewhat of a pivot, and the toes right here can move down, and the heels can move down, and once again, it's part of the transformation. So overall, the articulation is actually not bad, but you still get some decent poses out of it. And in case if you guys say, oh, you forgot something, well, don't worry. I know that gorillas walk on fours. And let me show you how you can do it. But first, you want to go on the legs. See this tab right there? You're going to plug it right up there. You can see it right over here. Let me get my thumb out of the way. Just like that. And just push and bend like so. Do the same for the other leg. Take advantage of that head articulation by bringing the head up. Bring the legs back a little bit and try to cover up that robot part as much as you can with the back skirt. Just like that. One more thing I forgot to say in the articulation is that there is a slight rotation on the shin. Try to adjust the arms and set this down. And there you go. Here he is on fours. I'll admit, it's a pretty nice touch, even though he did lose some height. And speaking of the height, I'm going to transform him back on his twos, do a little size comparison, and then I'm going to transform him into his robot mode. So here is Optimus Primal, the Beast mode, right next to the standard size 1/144 scale of the Gundam RX-72. As you can tell, he is taller than the Gundam. And here he is right next to IDW Optimus Prime and the Optimus Prime from the Earthrise / Kingdom line, review coming soon. And here is Optimus Primal next to the king of the monsters himself, Godzilla. I better put these figures away for each other before they start. Oh no, the fight has just begun. That's enough. Stop. Okay, guys. I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. Let me know in the comments whose side are you on, Team Kong or Team Godzilla. Okay, now that you've seen Optimus Primal in his beast mode, his accessories, the details, and the painting, and now, here is what you've been waiting for, the robot mode. So, Optimus Primal, maximize. First, what you want to do is bring these shoulder pads up, and you gotta do the same for the other side. Like so. Lift up the backside, rotate it, and take this tab, plug it into that hole right there. Rotate it, bring down his robot toes. Now for this one, you're gonna need a little extra muscle. You're gonna pull the back out, like so. There you go. Pull this up. Lift the head up, rotate it, bring it down, rotate that, but you're gonna bring the shoulder cannons out. If you want to bring it out, you just have to grab this little tiny tab, just pull it out, get in there, like so, and you're gonna do the same for the other side. And I know it's a bit of a struggle, but once you get it out, there you go. And before we put everything together, flip the chest piece like that. Bring this down and bring the back forward, and there you go. And here is Optimus Primal in the robot mode. Also, just a heads up, the paint does chip easily, so you gotta be careful when you're moving the legs around. Other than that, it looks amazing. And going back on the painting again, the paint actually looks really nice. The red, the white, and the blue on the chest. Even the head is just as well painted, and especially the eyes, just as cool as the beast mode. And there's one more thing I forgot to show you earlier in the video. If you look right there, you see a button, and you press that, it reveals the arm cannons. And yes, you could do it on the beast mode as well. And same thing for the other side as well. Press that button, and here comes the arm cannons. It's a really nice touch to this figure. And going through the articulation one more time, this time the head is on a ball joint, the shoulder cannons can move up and down, and the knee can bend more than 90 degrees. And I forgot to say this earlier in the beast mode, but the fingers do move and it's on a hinge. So in other words, the articulation is quite the same, but there are some differences, and those differences make it better. Therefore, the articulation on the robot mode is really nice. And as for the sculpting, well, my opinion I mentioned earlier on the video, it does carry over to the robot mode. Like I said, it's really nice. And for those who are really curious, taking a look at the back of the figure, the kibble management, it's not bad. And if you don't know what kibble is, basically you see like parts of the vehicle, or in this case, the beast mode that is attached to the figure, and you know it is obvious that it transforms into a gorilla, right? Back to the size comparisons. Gundam, Optimus Prime, and Godzilla. Wait, no, not this time. I'm going straight to my final thoughts. Alright, so here are my final thoughts. You already know I like this figure. Now, is it really worth going for? Well, only if you're a Beast Wars fan or a Transformers fan in general. Or if you're like me, who has never collected a Beast Wars figure. But it is a good opportunity for me. And it's freaking Optimus Primal, the beloved leader of the Maximals. I mean, who doesn't love him? So pick this figure up. You'll love it. Okay, that about wraps up. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching this. Now, if you liked the video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. And if you're new here, I do model kits and I do figure reviews. So stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright guys, have you two learned anything yet? No? It's gonna be a lot of work.